Hi everyone, it's Dr. Brad Meyer from Stephen F. Austin State University, where I'm the Associate Professor of Percussion. My first tip for the TMEA etude is just to talk about the dynamics and about lift and tone. So this etude really only has two dynamics, a forte and a mezzo forte. For me, the biggest thing that I see high schoolers do when they're playing a forte is they think about loud, and so they get really heavy and poundy with their sound. One great teacher that I had once said forte is a soft dynamic, and so while I don't typically think of it as soft, I think of it as a middle dynamic where we're really focused on great tone and lift, and then that mezzo forte that happens later around measure 37, that's going to be something that we can take down, maybe not even a dynamic, but maybe a dynamic and a half to really show the audience, the judge, that we are really differentiating our dynamics. So that's my first tip, is to really make sure that we're not overplaying our forte, and that since we only have two dynamics, that we can actually drop that mezzo forte down a little bit further than maybe what we think of as a mezzo forte to really give a nice separation between the two dynamics in this section, or in this solo. The next thing that I want to talk about is just about lifting. So at this beginning, we have some really nice big quarter notes, and generally, people play them with a very thuddy, downstroked sound. So this would be how I typically see high schoolers play. You're going to see a lot of arm, a lot of downstroke. It's really tubby and thunny, and so it would sound like this. So what you heard was some thuddiness, some tubbiness, some kind of distortion of the sound. Instead, what I want to do is pop that mallet head off the drum and really think about pa, 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 rather than thump, thump, all right? So this is how a good, nice, relaxed forte with a fully lifted stroke should sound. Very big difference in tone quality. And if you don't quite hear that, because maybe you're a younger percussionist, trust the process. Developing a great tone is kind of like developing a great sense of pitch. You know, a lot of, if you've ever heard sixth grade flute players trying to tune to each other, it can sound pretty rough. Then in ninth grade, after they've been playing for a few years, it gets a little bit better. And then when they get to college, it's a lot better. And then when they're professionals, it's obviously perfect and amazing. Same thing with our ability to understand how to hear tone from the drums. We have to trust the process, and if we don't hear the difference between a lifted stroke versus a downstroke, that would be like the difference between a sixth grader not hearing, a flutist not hearing intonation versus a college student. It's going to be a development of the ear, and so if you trust the process, your ear will get better faster. So I hope that helps. Have a great day, and axe some jacks.